Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to everybody. This is a scene for the Living World of Darkness, Changeling the Dreaming venue. This scene begins with the camera zooming in on Lainey, who is where?
Probably in the barony, trying to do assorted things since she's been trying to get caught up after getting her new book finally done and edited.
And all
Doing, Go on.
doing things.
Doing things. Probably she had. I'm just gonna say probably really boring stuff like paperwork, all that banal stuff that you have to do to run a barony. She has a seneschal, but in the end, she's trying to make sure she can do a lot of this stuff too. So probably Marissa's hanging out near there, and they're poring over some kind of accounting of who knows something. Maybe it's an accounting type thing, which sounds really terrible for the dreaming, right?
A little bit.
But you can't just say that running an entire area when you actually get riches from it, it's got to have some mundane stuff to it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, she's quite bored. And she's heard about this Pokemon thing. So she's going to kind of look at Marissa and just kind of excuse herself. Just kind of I need a break. I'm going to go do something else.
Okay.
And I'm assuming she could probably have had the directions from somebody.
Yeah.
So she's not even sure how this works. Because she's had like zero information other than people that had Pokemon with them. So trying to decide if she'd put on her armor because she rarely does. So probably not. She probably wouldn't bother because it sounds like a kid's game. And usually Pokemon fight Pokemon.
Usually.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to put it on, right?
Probably not needed.
Probably not.
I mean,
has anybody ever actually seen her wear the armor she owns? No.
Yeah.
She will grab the rapier, though. That's pretty easy to do. And just piece tie the thing. And head that way.
All right. So you know from what you've been told that it is kind of in the middle of Starfall City is where the Pokemon Poke Lab and Pokemon Mart and Poke Center are.
Oh, well, that's super easy because she isn't her barony technically part of Starfall?
Yes.
So
it is at the edge of your barony.
Right, like in the middle, probably?
Yeah.
But like right on the line there. Okay, cool. So you said there's a Pokemart, a Pokemon Center, and what else?
The Poke Lab.
Ah, okay. All right. She heads that way. She's gonna go to the lab first because she's not sure if she needs to probably purchase Pokeballs. And she's also not sure if that's dross or what that is. So, does she have to sell her soul? We'll find
out. Probably the Poke Lab would be the first place you'd want to go.
Yeah, she can find out how it works from there.
Exactly. So you go up to, there's a building that looks really odd for the grays and steel and neon environment that is Starfall City. It is a building that looks almost like Professor Utonium's house from the Powerpuff Girls, but Yay! It's got a big Pokemon Center or Pokeballs on the front of it.
I appreciate the Powerpuff reference. She's just gonna walk in because she's assuming it'll probably be some kind of a lobby, possibly with a desk or something. So she's just gonna walk in. It's not a house. You don't have to knock.
Right.
Is it a lobby or something?
It's kind of like a lobby, in the sense that you have um, kind of like a holding facility because this is a research lab. So, and there's you walk in and a man in a traditional like brown shirt, white coat, bow tie walks in. It's an older gentleman. Looks exactly like a mishmash of all the other Pokemon or male Pokelab runners.
I was thinking like what, Professor Oak or something.
Yeah, they all look essentially the same.
Yeah,
Haggard old guy who spent too much time in the bottle.
pretty much.
Um, hello, I am Professor Common Tree.
I've
How can I
I've
help
heard
you?
of you. She's like, she just looks and she's like, I've heard of you. my friend Astria was talking about you.
Ah, well. If you're here, that can only mean one thing. You're here to select your Pokemon.
Yes. Can I do that?
Yes. And six six doors kind of open up with uh, uh, essentially like a big tray with three Pokeball space for three Pokeballs on it. Some are empty, um, some are empty, some are missing one, some are missing two, some are fully full, and then they each have a label on them that lists their Pokemon name and type.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she just kind of glanced to this Professor Commentary, which is, I have to admit, after hearing the way that they were taking it, it's kind of hard to say it the right way. And then she'll kind of start walking up there, like looking over these Pokeballs, feeling like a small child again. It's kind of an amazing feeling because she remembers playing the old Pokemons, and in fact, it's only because of her that Astra even knows anything about Pokemon. She's the one who made Astra play Pokemon. There's an actual scene that we did this.
Well,
Yeah, and she even predicted that Astra would be a Charmander type. And look, she's right. So she starts looking, and it's the second based on the fact that she saw her with the Charmander, she's gonna go to start with the ones that are the ones that have at least one missing.
okay.
Because that makes more sense. And because she totally has a goal, because who doesn't want a Squirtle? So she's looking for those, and I'm assuming she can find it fairly easily, probably in the first try because first generation.
Yep.
She doesn't even hesitate. Because there's actually probably two missing, right, from that one?
Yes, there are two missing from that one.
And she kind of reaches out to touch touch this. She doesn't know if she has to touch it, pick it up, but she's gonna pick it up, I guess.
Yep.
Is there like a little button on it?
Yeah, it looks. It's a black and white ball that has the label that says Squirtle, because that's the only one that's left in the one on the far left.
Wow. You even remembered the positions of them. That's impressive. Some of us have played a lot of red. Or blue. Anyway, so yeah, she picks it up and she kind of looks at this professor. Does he look like she's doing the right thing? Like this is normal? Okay. She picks it up and she hits the little button on the black and white ball.
Well, it's a red and white ball.
Okay, I thought you said black and white.
Red and white with a label that's printed in, like a cheapy An ultra cheap label.
It says Squirtle, the turtle Pokemon.
Water type.
Water type.
Yeah.
Totally hits the button.
And it pops open and little arc of energy and light come out of it and Squirtle!
And her eyes get huge. Like just this huge grin on her face.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of looks at him and she like reaches down to try to pick him up, actually, because she like, what, if you had a Squirtle, you'd want to hug him.
Right.
So she totally tries to do this. And she's kind of half looking to see if there's some weird place that he has like sunglasses or something.
No.
Aw, I have to buy him some sunglasses then. Does he willingly like go into her arms at least?
He is a little apprehensive at first, but then he's okay with it.
She's not going to do anything to him. She just wants to hug the little thing. And she's like, "Can I have this one, please?" As she looks at him.
Sure. Of course you can.
I want him. And she's just like literally just holding this little guy until he seems like he wants to move, and she'll let him do so.
Okay.
Is he rude or mean?
So you have been hugging a turtle for a few minutes, and then he's finally like, Squirtle.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Squirtle. Tap, tap. Squirtle.
Release. Like the big dork that I am. It's all good. And she's just kind of watching him to see what kind of stuff this guy does, because she remembers the very mischievous Squirtle from the show, who's always getting into some kind of trouble. And so she'll walk up to she's still holding the Pokeball though.
Yeah.
And walks over to Professor Commentary, and she's like, "So how does this work exactly? Like, I mean, obviously I have his Pokeball. That means he's kind of apparently mine if I have the Pokeball usually, right?
What was that?
It means since I have the Pokeball, he's mine, right?
Yes.
Just checking the rules here. Okay, so if I were to want to go like looking for other Pokemon, where do I go?
Around. You have to go hunt them.
In the tall grass or fishing or something?
Yes, or sometimes in the sky.
That's a good point, because Pidgeys and stuff.
Yes.
Always liked a Spearow. Spearows are pretty good. Well, Fearo's better. Okay, so is it just like around here or anywhere?
There are Pokemon all over the world.
Your voice is hilarious, by the way, Austin.
I try.
And she nods, still kind of grinning from ear to ear, because this is a lot like being, an 8-year-old again.
Yes.
Which is really great for someone who's like 24 and feels like she's heading towards being a grump. So, really bad satyr grump, but still a grump nevertheless. and she kind of looks down at the little Squirtle, who I assume is wandering around or something, looking a bit uncertain. And she's like, "You want to come home with me?
Squirtle.
Because I'll get you a pond. I'll get you a pond to hang out in."
Ooh.
Yeah?
Oh, Squirtle. Squirtle.
He seems to be content with this idea.
Yes.
And she'll kind of offer an arm like down to him, so that he can, pretty much offering him a way to climb up on her shoulder if he wants to.
He waves his hand.
Like, no, it's okay.
No.
That's fine. So she'll just look up at Professor Commentary and say, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it."
Yes. Well, you are very welcome. No, don't forget to go get Poke Cubes and potions and Pokeballs for all of your grand adventures.
Oh, I'll stop next door, no problem. Is Nurse Joy around here somewhere too?
Um,
Wasn't that her name?
yep. No, it was awful.
That was always in
Yeah.
the center.
Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny.
Officer Jenny. We're all about Officer Jenny.
But yes, there's a Nurse Joy at the Pokemon Center.
Okay. Well, just, she actually asked him, is Nurse Joy around here somewhere?
Oh, she's at the center.
Cool. So, and she'll kind of nod, like do the whole thank you thing again and head out. She's actually going to head over to the Pokemart to see what is actually for sale because she's not sure what a Pokemon Cube is.
Kind of it's a food thing.
Oh, it's a food thing, like Safari's own food things.
Yeah.
Okay, so 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 you said there are Pokemon cubes, Pokeballs, and what else?
All the various
Potions and stuff.
yeah.
All right, healing junk. Cool. Well, she'll just kind of take note of that because she's not going to purchase anything just yet. Well, actually, no. Can she get some of the healing thingies? I forget what they're called again. Because just in case something, just in case something happens to him, she wants to be able to take care of him.
Potions.
So, yeah, she totally, but she wants to make sure, like, if something happens to this little Squirtle, she wants him to come back. Because even though they only faint, but still.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that Dross or is it just a thing?
It will be Dross.
She'll totally buy some.
Okay. Since you didn't just throw things on the counter and leave, and you actually paid for them like a smart person. It is a Dross per Pokeball for basic Pokeballs. The more extensive the Pokeball, the more
the more expensive it is.
Yes.
Okay, but she's not buying Pokeballs just yet. I'm assuming if she wanted to go hunting, she could buy them then. She just at this point she just kind of wanted a break and she wants to go play with her Squirtle, to be very honest. Mm-hmm. So she also needs to get a pond set up somewhere on her freehold because you got to have a place for a turtle to hang out.
Yes.
So yeah, she is going to how much were the potions again? Like one, you said?
Yes.
She'll buy like 3 of those. I'll blue book it, and head out with the Squirtle, hopefully following her.
Mm-hmm. Follows.
And she'll head back to the barony where she could go outside and play like a small child with her Pokemon, like she always wished she could in the games. Isn't that what most of us want to do? We want to play with these little monsters?
Yes.
Yes. So she's going to give in and look like a big child to anybody who comes by as she plays with this Chimera. And we could probably end the scene there, as silly as it was.
Yeah, that well, as you are walking through the city playing with your Squirtle, out of the sewers comes this animate wave of purple gunk. And it is coming at you kind of aggressively.
Okay. Coming at me or at the Squirtle who's there?
The Squirtle.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be funny. Because the one move she can remember that Squirtle has is Bubble. So she's gonna be like, Bubble! Bubble attack Squirtle!
All right. So just to give you how the Pokemon battles roll down,
Okay.
so that way you can understand when it happens in one of your scenes.
Okay.
Roll five fate dice.
Alright. This is so horrible.
Ones with the most pluses wins. If you have advantage or disadvantage, if you have disadvantage due to type, then it will negatives or blanks count as minuses.
Okay, that's fair.
But
I don't think there's a problem here.
there's not. This
They're
is
even. They're even
yeah.
Steven here.
Yep.
So, well, you won.
So Muck comes over and
That said, you won with 0. Go on.
it comes over and exhales this horrible, noxious gas that is purple and then green at times, and light and color drains from your Squirtle as it releases its bubble attack, and then just this animate wave of slime just keeps slamming it, just poof, poof, and
Potion.
and your Squirtle doth faint.
Go on. What does the Muck thing do?
At this point, it looks like it's going to try and eat the Squirtle.
Dive in there, grab the Squirtle, and give him a potion.
He is awake, but he is still drained of color and not doing too good.
Run away from the Muck. I'm not afraid to do so. I have my rapier, but Pokemon seem to work a little differently. So just pick him up and run. That is actually a valid action Pokemon.
Yup. Get it and go.
Yep.
And you run into the Pokemon Center, and there's Nurse Joy.
And just look at her. Again, feeling very childish because of this is Nurse Joy. And just look down at my Squirtle. Can you fix him?
Can you fix him? That's fantastic. Well, yes. Just go ahead. Put it in the get him into the Pokeball, and we shall take care of him.
She will go over there and very gently put him in there.
And kind of put him into the Pokeball. You hand the Pokeball over to Nurse Joy. She puts it onto a tray, which then goes into a machine, and you hear you see lights flashing, and then random beeping and booping from the machine, and then there's an old-timey like microwave ding when it's done.
Where was the music? Do 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 do.
And she just hands over the Pokeball. Oh, there you go. There is your Squirtle. He is all better now.
He probably doesn't like me as much as he used to. He didn't like me much to start with, to be fair. He just met me. Okay, so she's actually going to go head over next door and get a couple more potions. And so that's a total of 5 at this point that I need to look. And some of those food cube things, because if I recall, those things can actually make your Pokemon like you more.
Yes.
So she's going to get some of those too. Like, how much were those? Like 1 each as well?
It's a pack of 5 for 1.
Okay, then she'll get a pack of 5. And she'll give him one of those.
Okay.
because he just kind of fainted and it was bad. This is your treat. You sucked, but I love you anyway.
Nom, nom, nom.
And she's going to go through this, try to head back home again, much more carefully.
Okay. You were able to make it home safe and sound.
Please, mucks are not allowed, and mucks are banned from my barony, or at least from my freehold. Not the barony. I can't really control the barony. But for the freehold, I can.
And with that, we'll call it.
Yeah, that's fine.